We are coming to you from the city beautiful Chicago, Illinois, where tonight WGN Sports presents White Sox baseball. It's Paul Konerko, Gordon Beckham, Diane Viciato in the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Jason Kipnis, Nick Swisher, and the Cleveland Indians. Hi, everybody, and welcome. With Steve Stone, I'm Ken Harrell. Since we get set to bring you Game 3 of this 4-game series, as you know, they've taken the first two. They won the opener 14-3. Then last night we stranded 13 runners, and we lost that ball game 3-1. But tonight, he had a good bounce back from his previous start, Andre Rienzo.
He's really one of the good stories of all the youngsters to come up here because Rienzo has thrown the ball very well overall, and he saw the Indians in Cleveland. Threw the ball pretty well against them and had a good curveball that day. And last road trip, at 0-9 going into his start against Baltimore, he won the ball game and threw exceptionally well. So that was a win the team desperately needed, and he got him that win. That's what it looked like against Baltimore on Sunday when 6 2/3 gave up just one earned run on 4 hits. And he kept the walks to a minimum. He walked 2 guys in the first inning, bounced back well, so I like his chances tonight.
Well, we need to score some runs, and at least Paul Konerko is starting to swing the bat a lot better.
Paul certainly is swinging the bat a whole lot better, and it's lasted at least for a month. And he's starting to hit for some power. We saw him hit the ball out of the ballpark here. And then yesterday, the only run batted in of the day was off the bat of Paul Konerko. So when you look at what he's done overall, you realize that he's just starting to heat it up. Last 7 games, hitting a home run with 5 runs batted in, September 317. With runners in scoring position, which is his forte, this is a guy that is hitting 333. So hopefully he gets it together, has a good end to this season, and then we'll worry about next year when next year comes.
All right, a lot of Irish in the seats tonight. It's halfway to St. Paddy's Day, so sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way. Chicago White Sox baseball is brought to you by Miller Lite. It's not just a good time, it's Miller time. By Honda. Visit your local Honda dealer or go to shophonda.com for current offers. By AT&T. Find out what's possible with products and services from AT&T. Rethink possible. And by Ford. Proud sponsor of your Chicago White Sox. Check out America's freshest lineup of fuel-efficient vehicles at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com.
Welcome back to U.S. Cellular Field. This is a time of year when minor league players are called up to the majors. It gives the parent club a chance to evaluate their top prospects, and it gets them a chance to see them in major league game situations. It's also a chance for the young players to learn what it takes to stay at the major league level.
Whether a coach or even the manager says it, it's another thing to see the older guys and how they go about their business. And I think, you know, it might sound, but they look up to those guys. They have for a while because they're big leaguers. So, you know, that's more of the message, keep them focused and playing and part of their routine. But I think younger guys learn as much from just the players that they're around than they do of us telling them what to do. So, you know, again, when you see a Paul Konerko work or Adam Dunn work, you know, that they're seeing the amount of work that goes in and how they go about their business and how they treat each other and, you know, what it takes. So, you know, that doesn't change.
It's halfway to St. Patrick's Day. That's a promotion tonight, and we'll be back with the lineups and tonight's first pitch after these messages. The most live sports. Tonight's game's available in Spanish on your SAP audio setting, provided by 97.5 FM ESPN Deportes. It's Chicago's first and only FM Spanish language sports radio station. And as Elvis Santiago looks on, let's see how Terry Francona is going to line up his Indians tonight. It's going to be Michael Bourne leading it off with Nick Swisher in the 2 spot. Jason Kipnis is hitting 3rd. Carlos Santana, on an 8-game hitting streak, is hitting 4th. And it's Michael Brantley as Drupal Cabrera. Jason Giambi, the DH, with Jan Gomes and Lonnie Chisenhall rounding it out. The White Sox defense brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. It's Viciedo, Diaza, and Garcia in the outfield, with Simeon, Ramirez, Beckham, and Konerko in the infield. Josh Fegley with the nod behind the plate. And Andre Rienzo on the hill. Rienzo looking for his 3rd win, and this his 9th start. His ERA 4.5. He would like to see that curveball come to him a bit earlier than it did last time against Baltimore. Baltimore was a team that was very aggressive, and although he had some control problems early, Baltimore helped him out by swinging at most everything. The Indians are not that kind of a team. The umpires for the game tonight: Eric Cooper behind the plate, meaning that it will be a fairly large strike zone. Jed Fairchild at first, Paul Schreiber is at second, and Jeff Kellogg is at third. So Terry Francona, realizing that his ball club has a terrific shot at securing that wild card, he realizes, like every other manager in the race, you take care of your own business and you worry about the team you're trying to catch later on. That team is Tampa Bay. The Indians trail by a game and a half coming into today's action against Tampa Bay. Texas has already lost to Oakland. So Oakland looks like they're pulling away. 5.5 game lead in the West. So they've thrown the ball around the infield, meaning we're ready to play baseball, and I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
All right, Stoney, thank you. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here over WGN Sports. So happy you could join us as Michael Bourne gets set to lead things off for the Tribe in the first pitch of the ball game. It is taken for a strike. Bourne comes in hitting at .259, 5 homers, 43 driven in. He's 3 for 9 in this series. And as you know by now, all Sox fans who have seen Andre pitch, he will get it and throw it. Cleveland comes in hitting at .252 as a club with a 3.93 ERA. They are 34 and 38 on the road, 45 and 30 at Progressive Field. Fouls that one back.
Bourne is one of their base stealers, but yesterday he was gunned down on a perfect throw by Josh Phegley. Might have been his best of the year.
He gone. Ball gets away. And that's out number 1.
We told you about Eric Cooper and that strike zone. Although this is a pretty good pitch. Gets away from Phegley. Finally, he finds it behind the leg of Cooper and able to throw out Bourne at first base.
I wish more umpires had his strike zone.
Exactly right. I mean, you know going in, and if you do your scouting report on the umpires like most guys will do, that Eric has always had a good pitcher's zone.
So here's Swisher. He's 3 for 6 with a homer and 3 RBIs in the series. Takes outside. Nick hitting at .242, 18 long ones and 55 knocked in. High left side, long way to go. And that's going to fall. Did not have enough time to get there.
That fastball up and on the inner portion, and Swisher takes a look at it. Vicietta was playing awfully deep in left field. Has no chance to run all that far and get it. So Swisher with the first hit of the game. And Nick pretty happy with that because he realizes that he caught a break.
Well, he's just a happy guy.
He's a happy guy. You sign that same contract, you'd be ecstatic.
Gibness. Jason at .282, 17 homers, 78 knocked in. And the count 2-0.
Gibness wasn't seeing the ball well yesterday. He did have a hit and scored a run, but he struck out 3 times, which is most unusual for him against our pitching staff. But overall, he's been one of their most productive hitters.
Well, he's leading the club in RBIs, and he's becoming really the face of the franchise over there. He's just come in and got an opportunity a couple of years ago, and since that time, he just hadn't stopped.
And what I like about him is he will take a walk. He's walked 70 times this year. And that's second on the ball club. So if they're not going to pitch to him, he's not going to swing much out of the zone.
That didn't take long. So 2 on, 1 out, and that'll bring up Santana. Carlos at .264, 18 long ones and 65 knocked in.
He's hit more home runs from the left side, but he's a better hitter from the right side. And because he's hit almost exactly twice as much as a left-hand hitter, you'd have to figure the power is the same from both sides. He's hit 12 left-handed, 6 right-handed. And it is a bit of a chilly night here, although it's 69 degrees now. It will be going down into the high 50s before it's over.
Checks it up. It's just off the inside corner. Santana 2 for 8 in the series and 1 for 3 off for Enzo. Got to throw some strikes. Andre.
He's got 6 in a row, and now Ramirez is going to come in and talk with him. Now you go in, you can't really have a game plan to try to score early, but that's what contending teams like to do with also-ran teams. Get them down early in the game and get them to stop grinding out at bats. If you can do that, and the Indians are certainly trying to do that. They did that in the first game of the series. That's what they're looking for.
Two-0 pitch. Brantley on deck. Nice crowd on hand. Halfway to St. Paddy's Day. Get foul. It will. Thank you. Just foul.
Had that stayed in play, and it might have had it been on the fair side of the line, it would have scored 2. So a big break.
Terry Francona will let his hitters hit 3-0. In fact, in 2004, when the Red Sox won the World Series, that was one of the best exhibitions of a 3-0 offense you will ever see.
I would say he might be the most aggressive 3-0 manager in the game.
He is. Well, I don't know about nationally, but in this league he is, without question. Yeah, that offense he had in the playoffs in 04, Frio, those guys, they just won a trip to the World Series, which they won.
And Terry can't have enough men in the bullpen. He loves to use that pen.
Well, he's out of the same mold as about probably 27 or 28 other managers.
Well, this year, almost without exception, he carried 8 pitchers in the bullpen and was not afraid to use them.
That's trouble. Off the end of the bat, that's going to fall for a base hit.
That's just some bad base
Yes,
running
it
by
is.
Nick Swisher. There was no way that anybody was going to get that ball. And Brad Mills was stuck. He had to hold Swisher up when he ran the bases like he did.
We're not the only team that doesn't check the outfielders.
No, he had to see where Garcia was and realize that Santana was going to bloop that ball in front of him. Garcia was way back in right field. Swisher just didn't read it. And those 2 bits of hesitation saved for the moment a run.
It's almost every team. They don't get their guys to check the outfielders. So here's Brantley. Hitting at 276, 8 homers, and 63 driven in. Takes first pitch strike.
Brantley is real good at getting a ball up in the zone and hitting a sacrifice fly. He's done it 8 times this year. But if he does indeed ground into a double play, that could be a very costly base running misadventure by Swisher.
Well, Brantley's just getting better and better. He's 26 now. You can see last year he was getting better. The year before, at the end, you could see where he was getting better. And then last year you could see the improvement. Then this year you can see the growth.
Well, they're giving him a chance now to be a regular player. As you look at the base paths, pretty good speed at second.
Yeah, he's not going to be just an everyday player. He's going to be a good everyday player. Good outfielder. He's got to get one of those 12-6s over.
It came to him late in Baltimore where he walked 2 guys in the first inning. Came very close to duplicating that here in the first, but gave up the base hit to Santana after going 3-0. But the inability to get the curveball over early is going to be a bit of a problem, a la what Gavin Floyd used to struggle with.
You don't want to go full. Take him right here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Got that one by him. That was a good job by Brantley just to fight it off. Now, Steve told you that Oakland shut out Texas 1-0. Cologne 16-6 over Darvish, who's 12-9. Toronto beat Baltimore 4-3. Boston beat the Yankees 5-1 at Fenway. Leicester over Sabathia.
That curve missed way wide of the plate. So the count does indeed go full. As Drupal Cabrera in the on-deck circle.
Oh, for a straight change strike. But it's not there. Yeah, it is.
That's it.
Yeah, it was.
That's it, and a good one it was.
Yes.
Had him well out in front of it.
Big strikeout. And here's Cabrera.
7th pitch of the at bat, and he puts it in a perfect spot.
The first one he's thrown.
Picked a good time to break it out.
Yeah, he did. Cabrera, 235, 12 homers, 55 knocked in. There's the hook. One other final. Cincinnati beat Milwaukee 7-3 up at Miller Park.
Cabrera, their lone switch hitter that's a better hitter from the left side and a stronger left-hand hitter than right.
Get over there. All right. He got him. Pitches out of it. They threaten, can't score after half inning of play. It's their guys, nothing, and our guys coming to bat.
Beckham and Ramirez along with Konerko, Garcia, Gillespie, Viciedo, Fegley, and Semien rounding it out. That's brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. The defense, and now they'll line up behind Jimenez, Brantley, Bourne, and Swisher in the infield. Chisenhall, Cabrera, Kipnis, and Santana. Jan Gomes behind the plate, and Ubaldo Jimenez on the hill. He's thrown the ball a whole lot better recently. ERA 3.62. He's 11-9. This is his 29th start. The control has gotten considerably better, and 157 strikeouts in 154 and a third innings.
And before we show you our picks to click you at home, select yours. As here is Alejandro hitting at 263. Takes first pitch strike. Alejandro 1 for 4 in this series and 5 for 16 lifetime against Jimenez. Sox come in hitting at 249 as a team with a 3.92 ERA. And very quickly, 0-2.
Mickey Callaway, the pitching coach, really turned around Ubaldo Jimenez. When he got him to believe in his fastball, he'd gone away from it, using all of his other pitches much more than the fastball. He doesn't have that great fastball he used to have, but it's still pretty good.
That didn't take long. 1 out.
Don Cooper had a little talk with Andre Rienzo. Talking to him about just settling down. He got out of a very tough jam in that first inning, used a lot of pitches, but just like in Baltimore, a bases loaded jam, and he got out.
Gordon takes strike 1. Jimenez, 29 years old, 6'5", 210 pounds, out of Santo Domingo. So for the second night in a row, they send a pitcher from Santo Domingo out there last night. Danny Salazar. If you miss that game, you miss it. This kid is something special.
Well, there is no doubt that Danny Salazar has a chance to be a top of the rotation, if not a #1 starter before it's over. Now they got Justin Masterson there. They could have 2 of them. Salazar at just 23 years old. And you mentioned it early when you watch the ball come out of his hand. It's one of the easiest 97 to 99s we've seen in quite some time.
Yeah, it's going to be a decision for them to whether he's going to be their closer or a starter.
Seems like he can do just about anything.
Anything he wants to. Yes, what kind of arm he's got. Alexei takes strike 1. Alexei, 3 for 6 in the series, 6 for 20 lifetime off Ubaldo. There's a bunt. That's a good bunt, but can't get him.
Second time in as many days that he's actually bunted. And I think Alexei is starting to figure out that he can be a 300 hitter if he does this every time he sees the guy back at third base. With his speed, if that third baseman is a step or 2 in back of the bag, all he's got to do is get it on the grass anywhere, and you're not going to get him.
Here's Paulie at 249, 11 homers, and 51 knocked in. Takes first pitch strike.
Now, although Jan Gomes is great at getting it, throwing it, and his release is awfully quick, Jimenez is very slow to home plate. But Gomes has been timed at 177 to 185, well below league average of 2.
Thought he didn't care for that call, and the count 0-2.
Throws a hard slider, and not a bad pitch, especially when you have a pretty good idea that Eric Cooper does have a nice pitcher's zone.
Well, he got to get it out of his mind, regroup, redo, reboot. and go get him. There he goes. That ball hit hard, but caught by Cabrera. Hang with him for Paulie. He's had a few of those in the last couple of weeks. No score. Top of the second inning. And here is Jambi. Jambi, Gomes, and Chisenhall. And he makes the catch. A leaping catch. Evasiel Garcia.
Well, Giambi, who's used to pinch hitting, looking for the first ball fastball. He got it and just caught it off the end of the bat. Garcia goes back, times it well, and makes the catch with about 2 feet to spare before he hits the wall.
Nice play. So here's Jean Gomes at 301, 10 homers, 34 knocked in. Only 2 Brazilian players in the big leagues facing one another, both from Sao Paulo.
When the series started, I saw them conversing behind the batting cage, as you would expect. So you got to believe that both of them want to win this confrontation. Gomes is the only guy in this lineup with a 300+ batting average. Not bad for a guy that they picked up from Toronto because Toronto didn't think that he could catch every day. It's turned out that he can and will.
He's a good-looking player.
All he really needed was an opportunity. J.P. Arancibia was the #1 catcher in Toronto. They love his bat. So Gomes was odd man out. But here in Cleveland, they liked what he could do, gave him a shot, and he's proven he's terrific.
Ball gets away. Breaking ball. 2 down. And Sox fans, celebrate your Latino culture with Hispanic Heritage Night and fireworks presented by Miller Lite on Friday, September 27th at 7:10. Specially priced tickets, including lower level seats, for only $10. So to purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com/NHH. Here's Chisenhall. First pitch strike. Hitting at .225, 9 homers, 31 knocked in. He's a better talent than those numbers, but he's still young, 24. So that's a very nice 1-2-3 inning after that labor in the first.
GNTV.com and click on the Game Zone banner for updated stats and information. The Game Zone is powered by St. Xavier University. Success with purpose. Log on to sxu.edu to check out undergrad and graduate degree options.
It'll be Garcia, Gillespie, and Viciedo here in the bottom of the second inning. Seal with that beautiful catch. Takes ball 1. He's hitting at .276, 2 for 8 in this series. He's faced Ubaldo 1 time and he has a hit. Right off the end of the bat, and that's fair.
Jimenez did something he hasn't done in the game so far. Granted, he's only faced 5 men, but he went to 2 breaking balls the first 2 pitches.
So with 1 out, let's check out our picks to click tonight. Jim Angio, our director and crew. Well, they went with Fegley. Steve's going with Alexei and Tim O'Neill. Dave Damesel and all the great folks down at Orange Tree Golf Club in Orlando, Florida. We're going to go with Tank. Diane Viciedo. Orange Tree with their new champions Bermuda greens. Gillespie takes the ball.
Jimenez had his best year by far in 2010 with the Colorado Rockies. He was 19-8. His ERA .288 in that very tough park to pitch.
Yeah, that breaking ball popped up, and that's not going to be playable.
Now at that point, the Rockies started to sign a lot of their players, or a few of the people they thought were their core players long term. And for whatever reason, they didn't extend that to Jimenez. And he wasn't a particularly happy camper about that. So he let his feelings be known, and the Rockies decided to trade him for Alex White, Drew Pomerantz, Joe Gardner, and Matt McBride to the Indians on July 31st of 2011.
And that ball hit well to left field, but Brantley is a good outfielder. Makes that catch in fair territory.
We've seen Brantley a couple different positions, and he plays them all very well. He stays right with it. Good concentration as he moves over into that corner. And he puts it away. We've also seen him throw very accurately when he's had an opportunity to do that.
So here's Tank. 261, 12 homers, 50 knocked in. Takes a breaking ball strike. And that didn't take long. 1, 2, 3. And we'll go to the third. Born. Nick Swisher, Jason Kipnis. And I want to take a moment to wish my beautiful Greek wife a very happy anniversary. Today, our 40th.
Congratulations. That's a long run.
Well, she saved my life. And I love her more than I ever have. 0-2 the count. Two and two. Oh and 2 to 3 and 2.
They tried to go back where he threw it the first couple of pitches, and Bourne might have hurt his hand swinging at one low and in.
0-2 and ball 4. To the wrong man. So here's Swisher. He had a high pop fly that fell in for a single inside the left field foul line.
And but for a base running mistake, it might be at least 1-0. But Andre was able to get out of that first inning and leave Swisher at third.
And that's high and wide.
Brad Mills going through his set of signs. Mike Starbaugh is the first base coach. And Josh wants a word with Rienzo.
He'd rather have some strikes. So the 32-year-old veteran switch hitter takes the strike. Last year Swish with the Yankees hit .272, 24 homers, and knocked in 93.
He had a big year for them. And they decided that he was going to be the odd man out. They didn't realize just how many injuries they would have, and they've had a boatload full of them.
All right, take your time. Rack him up. Also a terrific job as we look at this double play again. It's just ham and jam. Terrific job of entertaining our fans before the game and also in the national anthem by 3 men in kilts. Love those guys. They are good. As here is Kipnis. Jason walked back in the first inning. 4 in a row. That evens accounted 1. And the count 1-2.
Last inning, a fairly economical inning pitch wise for Andre, and if he can top it off here with Kipnis and get out of this one, it'll be a successful 3.
Get over there. Paulie with that perfect feed, and they just do get him. So he pitches over the leadoff walk, and we'll go to the bottom of the third, still scoreless. No errors for our guys. It'll be Fegley, Simeon, then back to the top of the order with Diaza. It's halfway to St. Patty's Day. Everybody having a good time, good atmosphere, and now we just need some runs. Josh hitting at 212, 4 homers, 20 knocked in as he takes low and away.
Got a nice letter from the family of Harv Merton, who says that it's his 70th birthday, huge White Sox fan, and that in the third inning they always have cake and ice cream. So it is the third inning, and while you're having the cake and ice cream, we'll pass along happy 70th birthday to Harv Merton from the entire family.
Ditto. Ditto. Still a baby yet.
I used to think it was pretty old. Now I'm thinking he's just a sprightly young man.
Yeah. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Talking about letters, I've been getting a lot, and I got a lot more today. Calls about when I mentioned my dentist the other day down in
the painless dentist.
Yeah, the painless one. And get your pencil and paper ready, and I'll mention his name one more time so you can, if you're in the area. The mailing of it actually is Mishawaka, but I call it Granger. Right outside of South Bend. And I can't, for everybody who's texting me, I can't return them all. So get your pencil and your paper. Yeah, it's amazing. Painless. I love painless dentists. Here's a 2-2. Get out of here. Santana. And it's going to be just a little too far.
Got a little help because it was their dugout, but you can't stretch over that far. Santana and Gomes both going over there. And no chance.
Took that pitch nicely, so full count. That's good at bat. Just rifles that one back up the middle. So Jim Angio and a Cruz pick to click. Leads us off.
After fouling off a steady diet of breaking balls, he finally got one out over the plate. That was straight. And he drove it over Kipnis's head. For a nice start to the third inning.
Here's Marcus. Took that pitch nicely. Marcus hitting at .316, 4 for 8 in this series. And the 2013 Southern League Most Valuable Player. As we mentioned, that's a league with a lot of good prospects. Quite an honor. Josh, just a decent lead. Drops a breaking ball on him. Two and one to count. Finale tomorrow afternoon. Chris Sale against Zach McAllister. And then we got the Twinkies coming to town Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday before we hit the road again for the trip to Detroit. Come back here for that makeup game on Monday the 23rd against Toronto, and then go to Cleveland for 2. And there's a base hit. Just muscles that one out there. Fights it off of him. So the first 2 men aboard.
Does a good job of keeping that ball out of his kitchen, because Jimenez tried to zip this fastball right in on his hands, and Marcus was able to pull the hands in.
Well, that was one of the things I liked about him in spring training so much, was the fact that on the inside pitch he has the ability to hit with short arms.
Yeah, I mean, that was a terrific job, because there's a lot of guys where the bat breaks, they hit a ground ball to the left side, and before you know it, they got to try to outrun a double play.
So the corner's in close, looking for a bunt from Diaza. Struck out on 3 pitches.
Diaza with 6 sacrifices this year. And a lot of times a base runner will try to get that little extra jump, especially if you're a catcher. So what Josh has got to be careful of is Asdrubal Cabrera coming in behind him, because this is a very good time to use a pickoff at second.
It's the toughest base running play in the game.
Well, he used it, and fortunately he just got back in, and I mean, it was close.
It's the toughest play for a runner in baseball. You're on second base, man on first and second, bunt situation, because you can get it from the pitcher or the shortstop or the catcher. Get it from anybody.
Well, both of those pitches were out of the strike zone, and because you have the bunt called, you have to bunt a strike. One was over his head, one was into the ground, and both fouled off. So now Alejandro in an 0-2 hole. Runners at first and second, nobody out. Sox right at league average. 60% of the time they will score at least 1 run. Tribe pitchers will give up a run 50% of the time, which is pretty good.
Souvenir left side. One and 2. Beckham on deck. Outfield, for the most part, straight up. So his second strikeout, both of them of Alejandro.
The time throws a little bit of a cut fastball, keeps it on the outside corner and throws it by him. So the inability to bunt. His left runners at first and second, but now there's 1 out.
Gordon popped up to his counterpart, Jason Kipnis. And that's can of corn. 2 down. So it's up to Alexei. And you can watch the game in luxury from behind home plate in the Gold Coast Tickets Pub here at U.S. Cellular Field. Gold Coast Tickets, you got a guy, and that's Seth Sharon. Oh, terrific people. Gold Coast Tickets. Get your tickets anywhere you want to go. Alexei had that perfect bunt single down the third baseline. Got in on his fist, and a lot of people say, well, the only person that can get a drag bunt is a left-handed hitter. Well, technically speaking, you're right, but in baseball parlance, so to speak, the drag bunt from a right-hander is when he goes down the third baseline.
And the guys who do it well disguise it till the last instant so as not to tip off the third baseman. It's an effective way to pick up some easy hits. Also, for a right-hand hitter, if you've got a left-hander on the mound who falls off almost without exception to the third base side, that push bunt up the right side is a good bunt.
It's beautiful. I feel like that's a left-hander out there. A lot of right-handed hitters don't like to drag it down the third baseline. They'd much rather push it.
Well, they've seen a couple of shots of guys like David Eckstein who pulled the bat back to do that and got hit right in the eye with the carom off the bat.
Two on, two out to 1-2. So we get the first two guys on, can't bunt them over, and we can't score.
In honor of their Hall of Fame catcher, Carlton Fisk. The Commander batted .269, hit 376 homers, and drove in more than 1,300 runs during the course of his 24-year career. That's brought to you by Xfinity Home. Get peace of mind with Xfinity Home, the total home security and home control solution that keeps you more connected to what matters most. And there is the retired number 72.
And here is Carlos Santana. He singled, hit one off the end of the bat into right field. Had a couple of guys on. They did not read it, did not check the outfielders. Consequently, no run scored. But If you got your paper and pencil, my dentist that everybody's been calling about, his name is Matthew Brennan with the Brennan Dental Group in Mishawaka, Indiana. Matthew Brennan with the Brennan Dental Group in Mishawaka. That is the mailing address. 1-1 to count. There's a shot for a base hit. That one's barreled up.
Santana gets that one away and takes it away. It's it awfully hard to left field. So although he is a better hitter from the right side, he's still pretty dangerous from the left side.
That ball hit hard. We got a man there who misread it at first, then recovered nicely. That ball was absolutely tattooed by Brantley. That's a hang with him, Michael.
Pretty good job of positioning because Garcia was well off the line, actually trying to take away the gaps, and that's exactly where Brantley hit it, and he hit the daylights out of it. He started in a step or two, but has the speed to recover and make the catch.
Well, that's what made him make that play earlier on Giambi, with the speed. Can't beat speed in this game. Speed equates to base hits. It equates to range defensively. Equates to stolen bases. But if you want to condense it all down in one word, you could say speed equates to pressure. Pressure on the defense. That ball hit hard. It is 2-0 Indians. Cabrera, second homer of the series.
Enzo got that ball up. And Cabrera with home run number 13, RBIs 56 and 57, puts the Tribe on top. It's a changeup, and it's up and away, and as Drubel takes it out.
So here's the 42-year-old veteran, Jason Giambi, robbed of extra bases on a beautiful catch. You missed that, leading off the second inning. Poof.
Indians swinging the bat pretty well tonight, but some very good plays by Garcia in right.
Bottom of the fourth in Detroit, 1-0 Kansas City. So the one-out walk is third walk. And that'll bring up Yan Gomes. We grounded out 6-3. Kansas City 8 games back coming into today. Cleveland 6.
And Cleveland knows that in the pursuit of the wild card, Baltimore has lost to Toronto and the Yankees have lost to Boston. So for them, they're realizing that Tampa Bay is leading 2-0 at Minnesota. They're in pursuit of Tampa Bay, but they'd like to get a little daylight between themselves and Baltimore and New York.
They also know that Texas has been beaten by Oakland. As that's going to be a base hit by Gomes. So here comes Coop. 2-5-0 for them, 0-3-0 for us.
I think Coop, if I read his lips correctly to Fegley, was not happy with the first ball fastball to Gomes. He also realizes, and what he's telling Andre is, you get a ground ball here, you get out of the inning, it's just 2-0. So think about keeping it down and throwing a ground ball.
Now, the one thing about Coop, when he goes out there, nothing gets lost in the translation. He's going to tell you exactly how he feels and the way he feels it. Chisenhall went out to center. First pitch strike.
Chisenhall, a former first-round draft pick that has yet to come into his own.
Two on, two in. 1-1 to count with one down. Up, out over the plate. And that Kansas City Detroit game, that is Santana against Pfister. 1-0 Royals, top of the fifth. And that ball hit hard. It is 5-0. A 2-run homer and a 3-run homer.
Tenth home run of the year. Chisenhall is now driven in 34. That ball was right around belt high, inner portion of the plate. And Lonnie Chisenhall got most of it. It's a rolling curveball, not much break to it. And he hit it out.
Leadoff hitter Michael Bourne takes ball one. We mentioned earlier that those numbers are 225, now 10 and 34. His talent is a lot better than that.
They wanted him to be the everyday third baseman when the season started. Gave him every opportunity to do that. But they wound up sending him down this year.
Well, he certainly has the ability to be an everyday third baseman. He can throw some leather at you, and he's going to be a good hitter. Unless he doesn't think he can be.
Certainly has a nice enough stroke, and he was originally drafted by Pittsburgh. 11th round, didn't sign. That was in 06. Drafted in the first round in 2008 by the Indians, although it was low in the first round. It was 29th pick. They thought he had some talent. It's Charlie Leesman loosening up in the pen. He will do better than last time out.
Just did get a piece of that one. But there are some guys that are like that. There are some guys that just don't have any confidence in their ability. I played with one. Well, that ball's hammered. So that's a hard single. Every time he hit a home run, go over and pat him on the fanny, and he said, I just got lucky. And he was dead serious.
Well, unfortunately, and it manifests itself in a lot of different ways, but to be successful in this game, you have to have arrogance. Arrogance in your own performance. You don't have to tell everybody about it, but you have to truly believe that you are better than that guy that you're facing, whether you're a pitcher or a hitter. You're better than that guy on the mound if you're a hitter, better than that guy at bat if you're a pitcher. And if you don't think that, you probably should look for another position.
Well, as Michael Douglas said, greed is good in this game.
And it is. And arrogance is not a bad thing. I know it has a bad connotation, but depending on how you use it.
It's not. It's right on the money.
Absolutely.
You got to. You got to feel that way. And that ball hit in the center field. So that's out number 2. Swish now 1 for 3. No, but Rico Petrocelli, that's the guy I'm talking about. He set the American League record in 1969, 40 home runs at shortstop. And every time he hit one, of course, I'd been traded when he set that to Cleveland, but in 68 every time. Nice going, Reek. Oh, man. I just got lucky.
Lucky a lot in 1969.
Yeah. He was a great teammate and a heck of a player. So here's Jason. He's walked and grounded out 3-1. And that 1-0 Oakland victory. Bartolo Colon, as we mentioned, shut him out. Yu Darvish pitched for the Rangers. And that ball hit hard. But he's there. He reaches up, makes the catch, brings it, or stops it from going out. Meanwhile, they put a crooked number up there and they lead it 5-0. Five spot and lead at 5-0. 5-7-0 for them. 3-0 for us. They had a 2-run homer. That was by Cabrera, and a 3-run shot by Chisenhall. And except for Piazza, they would have had a 2-run homer by Kipnis. So here's Paulie. Paulie 0 for 1. He hit a rocket. Cabrera made a good catch on.
Piazza went almost all the way back to the wall. Looks to me like this is out of the ballpark if he doesn't make the catch. But make it he did.
As a chopper 2 hopper. Post-game traffic? No. Party at Bacardi at the Park? Yeah. Open after every home game at U.S. Cellular Field at the Gate 5 Plaza. Bacardi at the Park. We'll grab your friends and give them a visit and ask for Sil Vasilios. Sil Process. He'll take care of you. Here's Garcia. Hit one right off the end of the bat. A little nubber down to first base. Santana made the play. Breaking ball strike. 1-1 to count.
Indian shade Garcia a couple of steps into right center field. Brantley is way off the line, taking away the gap in left center.
All speed had him off balance.
Andre had a tough inning last inning. He was hit awfully hard.
Got him on the inside corner.
Fourth strikeout. And Navasail was guessing something else. That was a pretty good pitch.
Yeah, but you touched on it earlier, and it's the way it is. You know, Eric is going to have a pitcher strike zone.
And you certainly can't be taking too many pitches.
Well, that's the thing. You know, when you're in your meeting, you're going over the pitcher, in this case Jimenez. First thing you got to say is who's behind the plate. Eric Cooper's behind the plate. And you say, okay, guys, you know he's got a pitcher strike zone. He's going to be calling him. That's looped out there, and that's going to fall for a base hit. He's going to be calling an inch or two off the corner. So swing the bats. Swing the bats.
You ever find yourself in a consistent hole, which is not a good thing, the way Jimenez has thrown the ball this year. That's the fourth single of the game. And the inning stays alive for Viciedo, who actually has liked what he's seen of Jimenez over the course of his career.
Tank grounded out 3-1. Softly hit, caught, and that'll retire the side. We're into the fifth. We trail it 5-0. It'll be Santana, Brantley, and Cabrera. First three who started off last inning. They put the 5 spot on the board. Santana started it off with a solid single to left. His first at bat in the first inning, he had a little flare out there in the right for a base hit, a little duck snort. So he's 2 for 2.
And Leesman continues to throw in the bullpen, so you would think that Andre is out there on a fairly short leash.
Do I know the count?
I would think if he didn't get Santana, that would probably be it, with Brantley coming up next.
And there's the strike. It's full.
And Don has made the call to find out if Leesman is ready. And the answer undoubtedly would be yes.
So the leadoff walk.
And that's going to be it.
And as Robin makes his way out to the mound, makes the call. Sox fans, on Saturday, September 28th, come see our Sox take on Kansas City at 6:10, and all fans are invited to stay for a post-game fireworks show presented by Great Clips. Great Clips, because you know it's going to be great. So, Renzo departs. Leesman comes on, and we'll be back.
One of them, charged with 7 earned runs, that ballooned that ERA to 7.15. Before that, he'd been doing exceptionally well. Charlie on for the 5th time. He inherits Santana at first base, and he goes through the heart of the Indian order.
Here's Brantley. He struck out, and then he hit a vicious line drive in right center field that was caught by Garcia. Takes one at the top of the zone. Ball 1. And that's ball 2. And that ball hit hard, but we got a man there. So he squared up a couple of them.
Get over 3 to show for it. But swinging the bat well.
That's when you go back to the dugout and the guys are saying, Michael, hang with him.
You did a good job. But you're sitting here next to me.
Have some bench. Here's Cabrera. That 2-run homer. Last inning, he's 1 for 2.
His 13th of the year. This was a high change. This started off the scoring.
And once again, a reminder, make your plans to be with us tomorrow. Finale of this 4-game set. Chris Sale against Zach McAllister.
Ryan Rayburn in the on-deck circle. 2 words that very few of our pitchers like to hear.
I was ecstatic when I got here and looked at the lineup card.
He wasn't in it.
Yeah. And that's a foul ball. The count hangs at 2-2. Roll him up right here. He gone. Hook. 2 down.
Good late breaking curveball. Threw it down and in. And Cabrera swung over the top.
If Charlie gets to the point, as we've talked about, especially last time out, if he gets to the point, he can throw that over on a consistent basis. He can pitch in the big league. If he doesn't, and he's pitching 2-0-3-1 and got to come with a fastball, he can't pitch up here. Of course, that can be said for a lot of guys.
Last time out, just about everything that could go wrong didn't have his control. He had to seemingly take a little something off to get it. And Cleveland really took advantage of it. That'll be a wild pitch. First wild pitch for Charlie Leesman. With that same curveball that got Cabrera. And this one goes to the screen.
He gets a break on that one and the count 1-2. Rayburn. Grade 1 Sox killer.
And 1 for 6 with a couple of RBIs as a pinch hitter this year.
This year he is hitting .395 against us with 4 homers and 17 RBIs in 11 games.
He's been pretty impressive.
In his career, he's a .304 hitter against us. 17 homers, 67 RBIs, and just 286 at bats.
Well, that's just about half a season, double it, and it's Cabrera time RBI wise.
So Rayburn walks. That'll bring up Yan Gomes. Yan grounded to short, and last inning hit a little blooper single, a little duck snort into right center. Gap out there in right center. This guy's got one of the best top hands in the league.
I know he's made a believer out of us.
Yeah.
Before he was their everyday go-to guy behind the plate, he had very good at bats when we saw him in Cleveland.
That's fair, right to the bag. And that'll retire the side. We're halfway home. And once again, we're in trouble.
Leading off the third inning, Marcus Semien hits a rocket and one hops out of the ballpark. He later scored on a Diaz single. The significance of that double, it's the last extra base hit our ball club has had in this series. It's been 19 singles since that third inning double on Thursday night. Find out what's possible with products and services from AT&T. Rethink possible.
Josh Fegley, 1 for 1. He hit a bullet in a good at bat. for a single, and that's going to be, couldn't hang on to it. So that'll be another base hit. That one's soft.
He made 2 efforts, the one over the shoulder and then the other behind his back, and couldn't corral either one. But when you're going pretty good, you get a rolling breaking ball off his glove, his head, and the backward swipe, and can't get to it. Glove, hat, hand, no catch.
The last thing I was going to say in that 1-0 Oakland win, Bartolo Colon over Yu Darvish. One of the things become pretty evident. Well, in Darvish's last 2 outings, he's had identical lines. 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 walk, 1 earned run, and he lost both games 1-0. So it's become pretty evident that Nelson Cruz.
You think they missed Nelson Cruz?
Is really missed. Yes. Marcus, he's 1 for 1. Takes a strike. That ball into center field. So 1 out. Sox fans, join us on Saturday, September 28th for Craft Beer Night, presented by Miller Coors. A limited number of tickets are available for this private event where you can sample a variety of domestic and imported beers prior to the game start. So purchase tickets today by visiting whitesox.com/craft. Piazza takes outside. He's 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts.
Probably as big a play as there's been in the game offensively for our side was the inability of Piazza to get down the bunt in the 3rd. It was then a wipeout breaking ball. Kept the runners at 1st and 2nd. They were there with nobody out. 3 outs later, came away empty.
2-0 the count. That's into center field. It's going to hang up for Bourne. So 2 out. And that'll bring up Gordon. Gordon has popped to second and going out to center. There's a shot right at his counterparts. That's the hang wolf right there. Meanwhile, we'll go to the 6th, still trailing 5-0.
Seemingly very happy
Yes,
with
he is.
this series so far.
Boy, he looks just like his mom, doesn't he? Wow. But right here, top of the 6th, 5-0. And here is Chisenhall. Takes ball 1. He's 1 for 2.
Fourth drive of the game came off Andre Rienzo. In the same inning, he gave up a 2-run homer. He gave up the 3-run homer to Chisenhall, his 10th.
Right between the wickets. So the leadoff single.
This was a tough lineup for Andre Rienzo because with the switch hitters, he was facing 8 left-handers. And if you're not getting that curveball consistently over the plate, 8 left-handers probably are going to wear you out.
Bourne takes first pitch strike. He has struck out, walked, and singled.
And he can't believe it. But that has been a big zone all night long and continues to be a big zone. That was a nice stop by Josh Fegley as he moved to his left.
Meanwhile, 2-1 to count. Five 8-0 for the Indians. 0-5-0 for our Sox here in Game 3 of this 4-game set. And the count's 3-1. So another walk in the first 2 men aboard. And that'll bring up Swisher. Swish is 1 for 3.
Now he gets to turn around to hit from the side that he wants to hit from, and that's the right side. 292 is a right-hand hitter. He's 218 coming in as a left-hand hitter.
Swish hitting at 280 against us this year coming in. And he takes ball 1. 3 homers, 10 RBIs, and lifetime against us. He's a 291 hitter with 10 homers.
And the one thing he normally does is he shows some patience. He hits in a lot of hitters' counts. And once again, he'll be hitting in a hitter's count at 2-0.
And here comes Coop.
Well, he doesn't want to let Charlie start rolling down that hill, because you start missing and all of a sudden you want to overthink the situation, start nipping at the corners, and you got problems.
And while he's talking to Charlie, White Sox fans, tell us what you think and win an autographed White Sox jersey. In the process, visit whitesox.com/survey during tonight's game and provide us with your feedback. that will enter you for a chance to win an autographed Gordon Beckham jersey. So visit whitesox.com/survey.
I would say if you're Nick Swisher and the pitching coach just made a trip to the mound, you're looking fastball, you're looking for it middle in, and if you get it, you're probably going to hit it pretty hard as Daniel Webb starts throwing. Wasn't middle in, it was on the outside corner, but he did get the fastball.
That was a good pitch to hit. Good pitch. But you set it up perfect. That's going to happen. And now that's checked up, fouled away. There's a lot of base hits throughout the course of the season in just scenarios like that.
Well, you got a pretty good idea.
Sure.
Where you know what's coming. You're looking for it. But K-Swish didn't swing, and now he finds the count even at 2-2.
Yeah. Well, if you're looking for it, it doesn't have to be sitting on the tee. You're looking fastball, you can go out and get it inside, get it up a little high, a little low. That ball's hit hard right at him. That's a hang with him. Hang with him, Swish.
Well, the Indians tonight, even though it's a 5-0 game, they've hit the ball up and down this lineup just about as hard as you can hit it.
Yeah.
And Jason Kipnis just missed a home run last time up, had a big smile on his face because he realized that, but for about a foot or two, he'd have had 80 runs batted in, not the 78 he's got.
2 or 3 more runs up there very easily. Not too many for us, though. We have not scored. We've only stranded 4. Now, last night's a different ball game. We lost that game 3-1 last night. We stranded 13 runners.
Jimenez tonight has been very tough. Of course, if you're not getting any extra base hits, you better get a lot of hits. Especially when you consider that whatever Mickey Callaway found with Jimenez, his control is substantially better than it's been in a long time. And he hasn't walked anybody tonight.
Breaking ball. So trying to get out of the baseline call. I'm not going to get it. 2 down.
And that's what Paul Schreiber's second base umpire is telling Gordon Beckham.
And here's Santana. A soft single, a hard single, a walk, and a run scored.
Santana also a better right-hand hitter than a left-hand hitter.
And you got Brantley, the left-handed hitter, on deck. So he backdoors him with a curveball. Ball takes a funny hop. It's going to score a pair. And it's 7-0.
RBI 66 and 67. Lexi takes a dive and does not get to it.
There's a curveball strike. Brantley 0 for 3, and he's hit it right on the money twice. And the count 0-2. Seven, 9-0 for the Indians, 0-5-0 for our guys. So he had first base open, gave him a good pitch to hit. He hit it hard, drives in 2, and we trail it by 7. Jeff Vukovich, your local nationwide insurance agent serving the area for over 34 years. So to join the nation, visit jeffvuk.com because Nationwide is on your side. Well, I think the Indians feel they can beat us.
Well, at 13 out of 15 coming in, and this one seemingly well in hand, they might have a point there.
Yeah.
Some
I
years
think they have that feeling.
Some years are like that.
Yeah.
They didn't have that feeling with the Tigers.
No.
They went 4 and 15 against them.
Like they had a bunt single and a strikeout. Against us, I mean, you know, two guys that really impressed me. Now this is the 16th time we played them, as opposed to years past. As there's ball 4. The two guys that really impressed me have been Mickey Callaway and Ty Van Berkeley. They have. There's a difference you can see in their way they're going about their pitching, and there's a difference that you can see in their approach at the plate.
Well, Mickey was brought in on a recommendation of John Farrell. And Farrell, who was a terrific pitching coach with Boston, was in the front office in player development with the Indians and is now managing the Boston Red Sox to a runaway American League East crown. He felt Mickey Callaway would be one of the best pitching coaches in baseball before all was said and done. And you'd have to believe that bringing in Terry Francona and allowing him, for the most part, to determine his coaching staff and changing the culture that the Indians had there was one of the great free agent acquisitions that Chris Antonetti and the Indians front office made.
Well, there have been 3 GMs that, in my opinion, are right at the top for the season. 3 Executive of the Year awards. One will get it, but you got
talking about in the American League.
You got Charrington.
Yes, no doubt.
Okay, and that's over the 3rd. Rack them up. And then you've got Antonetti at Cleveland, and you've got Dombrowski at Detroit. Those 3 guys have done some kind of good job.
Well, the only thing I believe that might mitigate against Dave Dombrowski is everybody was picking Detroit to win the division. That being said, Dave did a terrific job of putting the ball club together and getting some extra pieces, especially when he had to. The other 2 guys, I agree with you. Nobody picked Boston, and very few
Coming
people
off last year.
very few people thought Cleveland would be as close as they are this late. On the other side of the page, in the other league, it's Neil Huntington with Pittsburgh, I think by a wide margin. Although Ned Coletti has done a terrific job, he was given the open checkbook, and that doesn't diminish the fact that Los Angeles has had just a magnificent year.
Well,
but Neil Huntington with Pittsburgh is the guy.
Just because you got a lot of money and spend a lot of money does not mean that's going to get it done.
No, that's
As
true.
We have seen.
That's true.
But and a lot of times, if you take the case of Dombrowski, a lot of times it's tougher to keep that club that you got that's supposed to win winning. But they've done it. Meanwhile, we're into the 7th.
Provided by 97.5 FM, ESPN Deportes, Chicago's first and only FM Spanish language sports radio station. So we've got a new pitcher coming on, and it's Daniel Webb. Our throwing right-hander. On for the 4th time. He's given up a run an inning. Charlie Leesman went 2, gave up 2 runs on 2 hits with 2 walks and 2 strikeouts.
Here's Cabrera. It'll be Cabrera, who is 1 for 3 to lead it off. That one hit being a 2-run homer in the 4th inning. That's when they scored 5 times, if you're just checking in with us. Ryan Rayburn on deck. Yes, he did. 0-2. He gone. He knew it. One down.
Backdoor slider caught all of the outside part of the plate. And on 3 pitches, Cabrera's out.
Rayburn in the series. Homer, 6 RBIs. Just joining us, Manzo went 4 innings, giving up 5 runs earned on 7 hits, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts. That pitch fouled away. And Steve told you what Leesman's line was, and now Daniel Webb.
Chris Davis for Baltimore with 50 home runs. Probably going to stop Miguel Cabrera from any thoughts of the Triple Crown this year. And Manny Machado today with his 50th double. And he's just a baby. They still lost.
They're a fun club to watch.
Baltimore's had a terrific year. Chris Tillman lost that ball game today to Toronto, but he's 16-6.
He gone. 2 down.
Rayburn looking back at Eric Cooper, but as we've been mentioning for quite some time, and Rayburn came in the game late. Maybe he doesn't realize that the plate was going to be quite that wide.
Oh.
Ryan, it's 7-0. It's a 7. It's been that plate's been like that all night long.
Yeah, if he didn't, shame on him.
It's been a big plate. What can I tell you, son? Take a walk.
As I said, I wish more umpires had Eric Cooper strike zone. Breaking ball, no. Deion Gomes. In the short term, I'll tell you, in the short term, it's not fun. But in the long term, as long as you know it, it gets you swinging the bat. You know, when we used to go with the umpires, and some of the bigger zones we had some of the highest scoring games we had.
Well, you did have an advantage in that you had an umpire behind the plate a whole lot more than the guys that are having it now.
But after all this time has gone over, these guys know these umpires pretty well by now.
They should.
If they
don't,
right.
That's a problem.
If they don't, shame on them.
Yeah.
But no, this system has been in place now long enough to know what's going on with the strike zones. So the walk. And that'll bring up Chisenhall, who's 2 for 3, a 3-run homer, and then a bullet single leading off last inning and came around to score. Well, I know one thing. If you and I know their zones, the players should know them.
I think so, yes. They most likely do.
Reaches out off the end of the bat. So that'll retire the side. 7th inning stretch. We need a lot of runs.
Around Major League Baseball.
As you check out our WGN Sports tail of the tape, there it is. They're trying to win the 14th game against us this year in 16 tries. They have beaten us just about every way you can beat a team, and then a little bit more. And then, of course, on the other side of that page, we've beaten ourselves quite a few of those 14 times.
Well, most of the time, they haven't had great pitching. This is an exceptional performance by Ubaldo Jimenez tonight. But they have blown us out a couple of times, won all the close games, seemingly, and hit the ball out of the park with more frequency than our ball club has, which is not an unusual occurrence this year, as the power numbers way down for our guys.
Well, when you score 19 runs in one game against us and then 14 in the first of this thing,
it's going to add up.
It did.
7 here tonight.
It did. Well, I can't say that either.
Well, that second game of the doubleheader. I mean, the first game is one of those things. You give up 19, even though you scored 10. I mean, you know, it's a blowout. But that second game of the doubleheader, leading by 3 runs in the 9th inning.
Oh, we've had so much of that.
That one still hurts.
Thank good for
And
Addison.
that was a while ago.
Thank goodness for Addison Reed this year, I'll tell you.
It's true.
Wow. That pitch is popped up. And a souvenir. Bottom of the 8th in Pittsburgh. Pirates leading the Cubs 2-1. Seattle shutting out the Cardinals 2-0. Bottom of the 7th in St. Louis. Gillespie 1 for 2. Now 1 for 3. And fans you've known for years that StubHub is a great place to find the seats you want to see our Sox play live. Now they've added StubHub fan rewards so you can earn a little extra with your tickets like seat upgrades. So head to StubHub and get your White Sox tickets today. There's Tank. Tank is grounded to first and hit a little soft line drive to second.
Donnie Veal loosening up in the bullpen.
Tries to get in chase. He just worked him over right there.
He did get him to chase. That ball almost hit him.
Just worked him over.
6 strikeouts as he throws one way inside. That ball just missed hitting him in the right shoulder.
There's Josh. He's 2 for 2. Seven, 9-0 for Cleveland. No runs, 5 hits, no errors for our guys. That's softly hit into left field, and that's going to fall for a base hit. Now Josh going to give it a go, and he's going to get there. So a hustle double. That's his 6th two-bagger.
That's our first extra base hit since the 3rd inning of Thursday night. So it breaks a string of 20 straight singles in the course of almost 2.5 games. And 3 for 3 for Josh Phegley.
And here's Marcus Semien, who's 1 for 2. Jimenez has been in control all evening long. Two and 0. After 8 in Detroit, Kansas City still leading 1-0. Hochaver now on the bump. Full count. Get me over breaking ball and got away with it. Oh, he just missed that one. He just missed hitting that one a long way. Meanwhile, we're into the 8th.
And 7-0, 9-6 in hits, been an errorless game. The Indians bat around into 4th. Santana extends his hitting streak to 9 games.
Donnie Veal on for Daniel Webb, who went an inning.
Donnie Veal, ERA just under 5.5. He's 2-3, on for the 43rd time.
0-2 the count to Michael Bourne. Michael 1 for 2 with a couple of walks and a run scored. Swisher on deck. Checks it up on that breaking pitch, and the count evens at 2. He gone. He knew it. So 1 out. And there you're looking at Tom Hamilton, one of the best announcers in the game of baseball. What a job he does. Been with the Indians now a long time.
He has been one of the most powerful voices you will ever hear.
Yeah, I love to listen to him when I have the opportunity. Sometimes on my ride home, I'll be able to get him. My satellite radio. Because that's out of play right side.
Tom, along with his partner Jim Rosenhaus. Tom is entering his 24th year.
Yeah.
As the Indians' radio voice.
The 0-1 pitch. And the count 0-2. Wouldn't chase it. But tomorrow afternoon, finale of this 4-game set, Chris Sale against Zach McAllister. And it is a 1:10 start, so make your plans to be with us here at the ballpark. Checks it up on that breaking ball. If you're just checking in, 4th inning they scored 5 times. 6th inning they scored twice. 4th inning a 2-run homer by Cabrera, a 3-run homer by Chisenhall. 6th inning a 2-run single by Santana. So you had him 0-2, and it's now 3-2. Had him 0-2, and there's ball 4. 8th walk issued by our pitchers tonight.
And each and every one who've been in there have walked at least one. Wasn't Andre's night. He went 4+ innings, gave up 5 runs on 7 hits with 4 walks, which is probably the troubling thing for Don Cooper.
Yeah, he made a lot of bad pitches tonight, and they hit him very hard. When you're walking guys and you're pitching 2-0-3-1 for the most part, you're going to make some bad pitches.
They're going to take advantage of them, as the Indians have not consistently swung the bat well, but they've swung it well in this series. So Matt Carson comes on to pinch run for Nick Swisher.
Kipnis 0-for-3. He had a home run taken away from him. Oh, a beautiful catch by Diaza, going up over the center field fence. And there's the strike.
I think Jason thought that he had hit this ball out of the park, but nice play by Diaza.
And there's a base hit. So with 1 out to walk, now the hit. And they'll bring up Santana, who is 3-for-3 with a walk in that 2-run single. And he takes ball 1. So near right side, 28,024 tonight. On halfway to St. Patty's Day. 3 men in kilts before the game, and also with the national anthem, playing some good Irish music. Chases the bad one, and the count 1-2. Tigers hitting in the bottom of the ninth with 1 on, 1 out. All right, a little hesitation there, but they still turn it. So rack them up, and we'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Let's at least get on the board.
Carson stays in the game to play right field after pinch running for Nick Swisher. And the top of the order to lead off the bottom of the 8th.
Alejandro 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts and a line out to center. Baldo Jimenez, 29-year-old right-hander out of Santo Domingo, 6'5", 210 pounds, and has been in total charge out there on the bump. And that's popped up. So 1 out, and you can catch the rest of the season in stunning HD quality. MLB.TV Premium includes a free subscription to At Bat 13, so you can watch every out-of-market game live on more than 350 mobile and connected devices. Other features include choice of home and away broadcast, alternate audio options, live game DVR functionality, clickable line scores, and multi-game viewing options. So MLB.TV, baseball everywhere. Gordon takes strike 1. And he takes strike 2. And he takes strike 3.
Only one more inning to go. A couple of pensmen who need to loosen up their arms, loosening them up at Lindstrom, Madison Reed.
They had an exciting finish in Detroit. Prince Fielder was on first, and Fonte was hitting, hit a double down into the left field corner. The relay play. And Salvador Perez made one heck of a play, which you'll see on the highlights, to make the tag, and the game is over. Kansas City wins it 1-0. And we are out of the bottom of the 8th, and we trail at 7-0.
Comes on to pick up an inning of work. He's the 5th of the Sox pitchers tonight. And without winning too many games, you have no need for a closer. And so a closer needs an inning. And so it'll be game number 63. Addison saved 37 this year.
So here's Brantley. Yeah, Addison, Chris, our co-MVPs. There's going to be some wonderment on why no pinch runner for Prince Fielder. That was some kind of play Perez made to put the tag on. Michael is 0 for 4 with 2 line shots. Two and one. Now Cleveland, they hold on here. Going to be 5 games back of the Tigers. Kansas City's going to be 7 back. But as Steve mentioned earlier, Cleveland's done with Detroit, and they're happy about that because of the 19 games, Cleveland won 4 of them.
And they've been delayed in the middle of the 4th inning in Minnesota for quite some time. Tampa Bay leaned that game 4-0, but I assume they're going to wait a long time before they consider calling that one. They'll wait all night.
Yeah, they'll wait. They'll wait for a long time. Unless the radar is just such that nothing they can do.
That's the rain that's heading this way. It's supposed to be here a little bit later in the day tomorrow.
Full count. Down and in. He gone.
That was a terrific slider. This ball just keeps moving. No chance at all for Brantley. It's Jose Ramirez.
The speedster,
who loves the first pitch, and he's been hitting the ball hard in the series.
Count evens at 1. For our guys, it'll be Konerko, Garcia, Gillespie, the scheduled hitters. As we trail at 7-0 here in the top of the 9th inning. One-two pitch. Just did get a piece of it. Ryan Rayburn on deck. They scored 5 in the 4th, 2 in the 6th. We did get the first 2 men aboard on in the 3rd and then couldn't run them over. That's the only opportunity we've had.
That's how good Jimenez has been tonight.
Yeah, he's just dominated us. Well, if the Indians win here, they will be 12 games over. And if they win here tonight, they will be 12 games over against us.
So there's the secret. Stay in the race by playing .500 against all of baseball and pound the Sox.
Another foul back.
Eighth pitch of the at bat. Everyone in the zone but one. And that ball popped up, drifting back, and it'll drift into the seats. So the count stays at 1-2. One out here in the 9th inning. All Tribe tonight. 7-10-0 for the Indians. 0-6-0 for our Sox. And that one just misses up and away. Josh Fegley trying to convince Eric Cooper that it was in the zone, but it was a bit high and wide, so the count evens at 2-2. Ramirez putting together a battling at bat, and he fouls off another one. So this is going to go to at least 11 pitches. Indians have 3 complete games all year long as a staff. Ball hard hit center field. Diaza taking off. He's got room and he misses it. That ball over his head, and Ramirez very quickly to third base. Alejandro's had a tough series in center field. Probably is going to go as a 3-base hit, and it probably is going to go as a ball he should have caught. Ramirez hits it hard. Alejandro puts a glove up and misses the baseball. And it goes as a triple, and Ramirez, in a battling at bat, wins the battle. The first career triple. Brings up Ryan Rayburn, who's walked and fanned in his 2 at bats, and he looks at a fastball for a strike over the outside corner. Rayburn came on to pinch hit for Giambi. Jason was 0 for 1. Rayburn walked as a pinch hitter in the 5th, struck out looking in the 7th, and fouls that one back. So he's in an 0-2 hole. The infield is back in a 7-run game. They'll concede the run. Rayburn was a very good player with the Tigers, but it was a numbers game with them, and here he is with the Indians, doing a pretty good job coming off their bench and platooning mostly against some of the better left-handers around. .207 at bats this year for Ryan Rayburn, hitting .286. Hits one to left field. Viciedo comes on, makes the catch, and here comes the throw, and it's going to be close at the plate. But the speed of Ramirez gets him in ahead of the throw. So it's an 8-0 game. That was a hanging slider right up in the eyes of Rayburn. And that was his first sacrifice fly of the year. Good play by Viciedo, but having to go down and get it took a little something off the throw. And Ramirez, who's one of the faster guys on their ball club, scores the 8th run. That'll bring up Yan Gomes as they make an appeal at third. And Eric Cooper making the call at the plate, because Jeff Kellogg had to go out to see if Viciedo caught the ball. So as they rotate, Cooper has a responsibility of seeing if, in this case, Ramirez tags up. He did. So Yan Gomes looks out at Addison Reed, and he looks at a slider for a strike. Gomes 1 for 3 with a base on balls tonight. Put a point on that batting average. The only Indian with a batting average at 300 or better. He's hitting .302 as he comes into this 9th inning at bat. And the count evens at 1-1. 2 outs here in the top of the 9th inning. The Indians just dominating the ball game. Exceptional pitching from Ubaldo Jimenez. And a whole lot of hitting tonight. Good slider, and it's 1-2. Addison shaking his head. He'll pick up 1 earned run, which shouldn't have scored, but did. He throws a fastball right by him. But the Indians score a run. Will head into the bottom of the 9th inning. It's 8-0 Tribe.
6-0 for our guys. It'll be Canerco, Garcia, and Gillespie. And Ubaldo Jimenez trying to get his first complete game of the year.
Be only the fourth as a staff for the Indians and the first by anybody that isn't named Masterson.
And he's also trying to get his fourth career shutout, first in the American League. So Paulie is lined very hard to short, grounded to short, and then hit into a 5-4-3 double play. Let's get on the board. Just don't get shut out. We've been shut out 13 times this year. You never want to be shut out.
Well, Jimenez has done it to this point at 95 pitches, just in case the bullpen is up and going. It's CC Lee.
He went, says Eric. And the count 1-2. There's the eel on deck. We have 6 hits tonight, 5 of them singles, 1 double by Fegley. And that was a hustle double. 1 out.
Well,
8 strikeouts now.
Well, a few times tonight that Ubaldo Jimenez actually dropped down to the side. And that's the upper reaches of the strike zone. But a strike nonetheless.
So here's Garcia. He's grounded to first, struck out, and grounded to short. Make your plans to be with us tomorrow afternoon. Finale of this 4-game set with the Tribe. Chris Sale against Zach McAllister. 6'6" right-hander. That was the eel. Take strike 1. Very quickly, the count 0-2. He has been in total command.
More so than we've seen this entire year, or just about any other year we've seen. He's been throwing strike 1 a lot. So he's worked out some of his difficulties. Now he gets just about everything over the plate.
It's just not getting it over the plate. He's hitting corners. He's hitting the outside corner out, inside corner in.
And throwing all of his pitches for strikes, which is something with a very complicated motion that he has, was very tough for him to do.
He's got a lot of moving parts out there to keep on track. There is a roller, and he just slams it into left field for the single. And a reminder, after the game, stay tuned for the 9 o'clock news with Robert Jordan, Jackie Bang, Jim Ramsey with weather, and Rich King. Rich King with all the sports highlights, everything you want to know about the world of sports. And there's going to be a lot to find out tonight. Here's Gillespie. He's 1 for 3. Takes first pitch strike. If you're just checking in, Pittsburgh beat the Cubs 2-1 at PNC. Toronto beat Baltimore 4-3 as that pitch is fouled back and out of play. Oakland shuts out Texas 1-0. Bartolo Colon over Yu Darvish. Bartolo 16-6 with a 273. Darvish 12-9 with a 279. Grant Balfour picked up his 38th save in the game. Boston beat the Yankees 5-1. Lester 14-8 over Sabathia, who was 13-13. Cincinnati beat Milwaukee 7-3. As that pitch is fouled back. Bailey over Pelwig. Chapman picked up his 36th save. Giants jumping all over the Dodgers 7-1, bottom of the second inning out at Dodgertown. Top of the ninth in St. Louis, 4-1 Seattle. Top of the ninth in Houston, 5-2 Angels. That is knocked down by Santana. That'll be a base hit.
And that's going to be the final at bat of the night for Jimenez, as Terry Francona gave him the opportunity to close it down. He wasn't able to do it, and he will depart after the second hit of the night by Connor Gillespie. So C.C. Lee comes into the game. Eduardo Jimenez, after a brilliant job, departs. We'll step out and be back after these messages. Four days ago at Kansas City, faced four men, retired two of them. There you look at the numbers.
Big sweeping breaking ball to Viciedo. Thanks to he's 0 for 3 tonight. 8-11-0 for them. No runs, 8 hits, no errors for us. And there's a strike to even the count. And that fastball upstairs at 92. Still a rain delay in Minnesota. And there's a shot base hit. Just a rocket. So that'll load him up.
Three straight singles. And that ball pretty much right down the middle. And a rocket by Kipnis.
And here's Fagley. He's 3 for 3. 2 singles and a double. Joe Madden certainly does not want that game call for 2 reasons. First of all, he's leading at 4-0. Bottom of the 4th. Next of all, he's got Matt Moore out there. He's given up No runs on 1 hit. 3 innings with 5 strikeouts. That could be a big game for Tampa Bay.
Well, again, I can't see the umpires, and it's in the hands of the umpires. I can't see them calling that anytime soon.
Two and 0 the count. Sox packed 1 down. There's the strike. Good rip by Josh. But the count 2-2. Big sweeper, and Josh, good job just to get a piece of it.
Sidearm left-hander Rich Hill throwing in the pen.
There's that big sweeper again, popped up in the center field. So here comes Avasio. He will score. We'll get on the board. And it's an 8-1 ball game.
First run driven in. So the perfect night for Josh Phegley. 3 hits and a sacrifice fly. And that run charged to Jimenez.
Keep it going, Marcus. He's 1 for 3. Last time up, he just missed one. 3-2 getting the over breaking ball from Jimenez and just missed it. What do you want to count to Simeon? This year's MVP in the Southern League. Eric called it on him. And that game in St. Louis is over. Seattle beat the Cardinals 4-1. Pittsburgh wins 2-1. And this ball game is over. So they take the first 3 of this 4-game set. They win this one 8-1. And we'll be back.